Hey guys, welcome back to another adventure in the newly formed Jay's Modern Bushcraft and Survival. Today we're going to revisit the first location I actually shot at, the first time I spent 3 days out there. But this time I'm going to be more prepared and the conditions are going to be a lot harsher, so I kind of need it to be. I have some new gear. You can see that gear in depth in my last video. The pack itself weighs about 23 pounds with tools included like hatchet, and I actually, because I was wearing snow pants, I didn't have a belt to put my belt knife on, so that's actually included in the pack weight now as well. And one thing I'm really excited about, I'm trying to get this video out to you as soon as possible. I came right from the woods to the ocean. No, I'm just kidding, that's a picture. I came right from the woods to my editor's house, and we're getting this edited up right now. Stay tuned. This is going to be one heck of an adventure. I freed up a lot of space on my phone. I've got a lot more that I want to show you. I want to go into more in-depth detail about why I did what I did this time, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Well, here I go. I'm heading out. 3 days winter camping under a tarp. Should be about an hour drive, and I'll get back to you when I get there. And I'm here. Turn the phone this way so you can see a little better. You're looking over the river now. It's such a beautiful area. This is where I'm going to be hiking in. I had to wait for him to plow this to make sure. That's why I had to postpone my trip, but I'll make it in. Remember, dress for success. If you're gonna be out here in 0-degree weather, you gotta dress for it. I'm about to hike in. I got all my winter gear on. I got my winter jacket. I got snow pants. I'm ready to go. I'm gonna build a nice cozy shelter, and I guarantee you I'm gonna be toasty warm tonight, even in 0-degree temperatures. All right, so I'm hiking in here, and let me tell you, it's cold, and it's very difficult hiking in 2 feet of snow. I'm freaking exhausted, and I'm not even halfway there. Holy crap. The snow is deep, and it's very hard to hike through. I stopped at the first campsite. There's a picnic table here, buried under all the snow. But I'll get there. I just need to rest for a little bit.
Okay, well, I made it. Oh my God, I'm exhausted. I mean, this snow is just, I mean, it shows you how deep it is. It's a top of a picnic table right there. I mean, it's over 2 feet deep. Hiking through this stuff is just, absolutely exhausting. So, I'm going to set up my shelter over there. This is actually the same campsite that I was at. The last video I filmed, I wanted to go farther in because there's a stream and there's some really nice scenery out there, but I can't go any farther. I'm not in the best of shape and I'm completely exhausted. So I'm just going to set up here and at first I'm going to take a break and I'll film some more once I've had a little break. Okay, so now that I've caught my breath and I've had time to think, there's 3 things I need. I didn't bring any water, so I need water. I'm going to need fire to melt snow to get that water because there's no water source nearby. And I need shelter. And out of those 3 things, I think I'm going to focus on shelter first. Yeah. Because it's still early. At least if I have the shelter, I can lay down, take a little nap, because the hike in here really killed me. So I think I'm going to do shelter first. Okay, so what I've done to start, this is actually my fire pit from last time I was here. I cleared that out. I brought this, a milk jug. I cut it in half and I figured I'd use it as a snow scoop. And so what I did was I just kind of scooped out an area where I'll be sleeping. And hopefully I can pile up some snow a little bit higher, build the walls up, and have a nice, cozy, insulated shelter once I get my tarp over the top. Okay, so I've started to run my ridge line for my tarp. You can see it hung up there. I got to tighten it up still, but that's no problem. That'll take a couple seconds. And I've carved some wooden tent stakes out of some little pieces of pine that I brought. Hopefully they'll go into this frozen ground. That was my worry. I was almost going to run to the store and buy some metal or plastic tent stakes, but then I remembered I had these 2 already carved, so I just made these 2, and hopefully they'll work. Okay, this literally took me like 2 hours to set up. I am so terrible at this. Trying different knots and trying to get this stuff to work, but I got it done. Okay, so I ran a ridge line from this tree to the center tie out, staked down 3 corners, and I tied the end of the ridge line up high in that tree to pull the center up. So what that's going to do, it's just gonna raise that roof up, the peak of the plow point shelter, so I get a little bit more room in there. That should be nice. I might move the snowbanks a little bit closer to the walls for a little bit more insulation. I haven't decided yet, but at this point, I'm gonna leave it like it is. I'm gonna leave it like that, and I'm going to go get some firewood and get ready, because this literally took me a couple hours. Now it's like 1:30 in the afternoon. I gotta get firewood. Well, the search for firewood has started. I still haven't found anything substantial. That was my first trip. That was the problem I had last time I was here too. I just couldn't find anything really substantial, and I didn't have a saw to cut the stuff that I did find. So now I actually have a saw. Hopefully I can find something smaller than 10 inches in diameter that I can, you know, actually process down. That's what I'm hoping. I'm sitting down here for a second, trying to catch my breath. And I just wanted to add, like, right now, I really want to save my firewood, but at the same time, I'm getting thirsty. I didn't bring any water with me. Obviously, there's plenty of snow, but I need a fire to melt it. So I'm going to have to make a little fire just so I can get a drink. Okay, now this is a good find. You can see there's a log here underneath the snow. But the nice thing is, for one, it's up off the ground, which means on the inside, it's going to be dry. Second, it's not too large in diameter. I mean, I could probably process that with my 12-inch bucksaw. So I'm going to try to do that. Hopefully get some nice firewood out of this. This is a good log. Good find. I'm really happy. I need it. Man, I suck at this. I've been working at this log now for 15 minutes. Let me show you. My saw kind of went off center, so it's taking me way longer than it should to cut through. I don't know if I was holding it crooked or what, but I'm just trying to cut the first piece off, and it's like, just let me finish. It won't just break off. The saw just keeps turning and turning this way, and it's like, you know, I would have been done already if it went straight down. Victory. Now, granted, it's not a, you know, it's only one piece of this log, but I messed up the cut. The wood is like frozen solid, so it's difficult to saw. But that one piece of wood right there will burn for, you know, a good couple hours, at least. So that'll give me, you know, a good fire to last through the night. I'm back here at my shelter. I just brought that log back. And looking at it, I can see why it took so long to cut through. I mean, that is some very, very hard wood. I mean, that's why it took so long to cut through. I mean, that thing is heavy. I mean, it's only about 2 feet long, but probably weighs, oh geez, 30 pounds. And you can see those rings are really tight together. That's some good hardwood, whatever it is. Okay, so I'm looking at this setup, and I'm kind of, this is exactly where I was set up last time. That's the fire pit that I built last time. It's a little covered in snow, but the rocks and everything are still there. And I'm kind of wishing it was a little bit closer to my shelter. Now that I have a shelter that won't burn, I'd really kind of like the fire pit right here. And, you know, for the heat to go in, and I could move this snow wall in closer to the shelter, have everything nice and insulated. I don't know. I don't know if I want to move the whole fire pit. So I'm going to think about that. Okay, so I moved my fire pit. It was there. That's the one I made last time. Hey, see this piece of birch bark? That was my fire fan. Last time I was here, I found it buried in the snow. That's what I used to fan the fire. But anyway, I was surprised it was still here. But there's the new fire pit, a little bit closer to my shelter. If I back up, you can kind of see, like, that was the old one, new one, and shelter. So that heat should get in there a little bit better. But see, this tarp is an oilcloth tarp, so I don't have to worry too much about sparks flying and landing on it. My sleeping bag is another matter, but I'll make sure to keep the fire small when I go to sleep. Just a friendly reminder, when your fire is just starting, don't shake the tree so snow falls in your fire. Alright, so I figured I'm going to take a quick break. I've laid down what's going to be my ground mat in my shelter here. It's just a 5x7 poly tarp. I'll put my sleep system on that, my sleeping mat, my sleeping bag. I'm sitting here just watching the fire. It's amazing how much slower this wood burns in these kind of conditions. It takes a long time for even small sticks to catch and burn. So after this quick break, I'm going to try to dry out my gloves a little bit. And then I got to get more pieces of that giant hardwood log. Maybe a few other smalls too. Yeah, as nice as that break was, I got to get a lot more firewood. I mean, I don't have anything now, really. I mean, the fire's going. Trying to warm up my, and dry out my gloves a little bit. Warm up my hands. I do have a warmer pair of gloves, but they tend to absorb a lot more moisture. So I'm trying not to use them for work, like harvesting firewood. I could go to sleep right now, but I gotta get to work. I need more wood. I'm gonna go chop more pieces off of the log that thing came off of. It's gonna be a pain in the butt, but it's gotta be done. I tell you, I don't know what kind of wood that is, but yeah, man, it took me another 15-20 minutes just to cut another piece off. It's making me wish I cut a longer piece now. Look, I didn't really cut that long of a piece. There's a lot left, but man, it takes forever to get through. I think it's a combination of it being hardwood and being frozen. I don't know. I'm hoping I'll be able to maybe split this shorter one down. That's why I kind of cut it short, hoping that maybe I could split it. But I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to. All I know is I'm super thirsty. I got to get the fire going. The sun's setting. I want to melt some snow and get a drink. I'll probably just call it quits on the firewood for the day. I know I don't know if I have enough to go through the night. It doesn't really matter. I think I'll be warm in my shelter. I'll just pile that snow up along the sides a little bit. I think that'll be good. I think I'll be toasty in there. So, as you can see, it's getting near the end of day one. Starting to get a little dark. I got my little sitting pad out. Just a little place to sit. A little smoke in the eye there. Started to set up my sleep system a little bit. I rolled out the sleeping mat. I haven't inflated it yet, but it's at least rolled out. It's supposed to be self-inflating, but they never actually completely self-inflate. You still got to puff, you know, a couple breaths of air into them. I'm going to melt some water now, and then on the menu for tonight, we have 4 cheese Idaho instant potatoes. That'll be my dinner. And I'm looking forward to it. I am starved. And I'm really thirsty. I got just enough firewood to probably cook the mashed potatoes. I don't know. I mean, those 2 logs might last, but I think they're just going to smolder out and go out during the night. I don't think they're really going to provide any heat, but whatever. I think I'll be warm. It's a good shelter. All right, I'm going to make my dinner and I'll get back to you. So I was melting snow in this little bush pot, but I put this lid on because ash was getting in my water, but it melted. Go with all metal. If you're gonna buy stuff, just go with all metal. In that whole bush pot, when it melts down, you only end up getting like half a cup of water. It's not much. So I'm trying to get hydrated, and then I'm going to have to get enough water to boil to make my potatoes with. So this is going to take a while. Okay, so it's getting really cold. For sure. My toes are starting to get cold. I got some thicker socks that I can put on. I set up my, well, you can't see, it's pitch black. Well, actually you can. Hold on. I got my sleep system set up in there. Oh, sorry. But the problem is it's taken so long to melt this snow into water. I've only been able to drink, and I've only been able to melt and drink about 1 measuring cup worth of water. I had probably 2 more cups melted, and as I was lifting it out of the fire, of course, I spilled it. So I'm starting over again. As you can see, got the pot on there. I don't have much firewood though. That's pretty much it. So I'm trying to make the fire large enough to melt some water so I can drink, but also boil some water for my mashed potatoes, because I do want my mashed potatoes. I'm actually really hungry. So, but my feet are getting cold. I just want to climb in my sleeping bag, honestly. But I gotta eat, I gotta drink, I gotta hydrate. Here we go. It's mashed potatoes time. I got my mess kit out. I'm not going to use the whole packet. I'm going to save the rest of the water to hydrate with. But I can use like half a packet, maybe a cup of water. There we go. Meal fit for a king. Oh, I'm hungry. And that hot water actually would be really nice. I got some instant coffee mix, but it's late. So I'm not going to have my coffee till morning. Well, I'm getting ready for bed. I threw both those big logs on there. Hopefully they'll keep burning for a little while at least. Oh wow, that's bright. I forgot I got this. Don't mind, I can't look at the camera right now. That's way too bright. But I really am not looking forward to taking off my snow gear. I mean, I want to get in the sleeping bag, but I don't want to get in there with my wet snow gear on. But gotta do what I gotta do. So good night.